two mayors allegedly involved in the drug trade. The hunt for Pastor Apollo Quiboloy continues despite the temporary protection order issued by Davao City Regional Trial Court Branch 15. Police officers from three other regions, Northern Mindanao, Soc-Sargen, and Caraga, were deployed to help head off any disturbances while the search carried on.
Police said that this is so that new units can relieve some of the 2,000 personnel originally deployed to the 30-hectare compound. The raid is now on its fifth day, and police insist that they need the extra manpower to maintain peace and order, not just within the compound, but also in the community surrounding the area.
But they seem to be closing in. Using ground-penetrating radar, the PNP claims to have zeroed in on the exact location within the compound where Quiboloy might be hiding, and they say that they're still detecting signs of life. Earlier today, Kingdom of Jesus Christ members reported receiving information that the PNP had set a 2-hour deadline for Quiboloy to surrender. They said the police threatened to bomb the cathedral otherwise. But the PNP Davao Region Unit quickly dismissed this information as fake news.
Ang kasinungalingan ang pinapalabas ng KOJC na bobobohin namin ang kanilang compound. Kagaya ng kasinungalingan na sinasabi nila na pinutulan na namin sila ng tubig at kuryente. Kaya sa lahat ng mga mamamayan, mga kababayan natin, huwag agad kayong maniniwala sa mga pinapalabas nilang mga kasinungalingan.
In several photos released by PNP Davao Region, there were no signs of damage to the cathedral, contradicting claims made by KOJC that drilling and digging were taking place inside. PNP Region 11 then attempted to bring some media members inside with them to show the area where Quiboloy might be hiding. However, as they approached the entrance, KOJC members suddenly blocked their way. The members formed a barricade, preventing the media from reaching the cathedral. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla vowed to see this operation through to the end and stressed that the PNP can still serve a warrant against Quiboloy despite the temporary protection order.
I think that the rule of law will not be respected by people unless we are able to show that we will not let go of people, even how high their stature may be. And we intend to really carry this out to the end.
The PNP also insisted that the TPO only goes so far as to order them to take down the barricades, but it does not hinder them from continuing the search.
At hindi po nakasaad doon na tayo po ay pinapaalis po sa loob po ng compound and much more para i-stop po yung ongoing implementation po ng warrant of arrest. Kaya tuloy-tuloy pa rin po hanggang sa ngayon yung ginagawa po nating paghahanap. Well, susunod naman po tayo dito sa inuutos po ng korte po, ma'am, but we have to reiterate also at i-clear po natin na sa umpisa pa lamang po ng ating police operation dyan noong August 24 ay wala pong balak at wala pong ginagawang pagharang po ang ating kapulisan dyan.
Earlier, the Justice Department said that 2 human trafficking victims were allegedly rescued from the KOJC compound. The victims, one man from Samar and a woman from Cotabato, are now under the care of the Social Welfare Department. However, the KOJC denied any human trafficking activities occurring within their compound. They also presented someone to the media who they claimed was wrongfully labeled as a human trafficking victim.
So, hindi ka biktima ng human trafficking dito?
Hindi talaga po. Freedom of choice ko po to. Lahat nakatapos na kayo sa pag-aaral nyo. So ngayon, bigyan niyo ako ng kalayaan. I-serve ko yung buhay ko sa Ama to the Son.
The PNP continues to urge members of the KOJC not to believe in fake news, especially now that the situation outside the KOJC compound is returning to normal. DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos also urged Quiboloy to surrender.
I know you are a man of God. You've been reading the Bible. You've been telling us about justice. But now it's time to face it. Now it's time to tell the people your version of what really happened. And let the Philippine legal system takes its course.
All right, I'm bringing in Gretchen Ho once again tonight, who is still in Davao covering the situation inside and outside of the KOJC compound. Gretchen, what's going on over there? Kamusta?
Hey, good evening to you, Sean, Reg. We are reporting live here from inside the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound. And after 5 days of the serving of the arrest warrant, the Philippine National Police has zeroed in on this cathedral where they believe that Pastor Apollo Kibuloy is hiding. And it is a bunch of heartbeats that they are holding on to. And in the middle of that room is a life detector. This is the place of worship of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, a place they hold sacred, yet the police have cordoned it off and nobody can enter, not even to say a prayer. But taking a look at the scenes here, we see policemen side by side, their shields are down, they are relaxing, resting. You're also seeing members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ moving, just walking around. Tensions have gone down, and we, the media, have finally been allowed to come in to see for ourselves what has been going on. Now, at around 2 p.m. today, it was not the same scenario. We were guided by the PNP as they were accompanying several members of the media who were part of that team in an effort to come in to cover the serving of the arrest warrant. Yet, a human barricade also greeted us, not on this side of the compound, but on the other gate. And even though there was already a first batch that was allowed in by the KOJC. Now, there was a press conference already being held inside, and that is why we were able to enter via this entrance and also be accompanied by a media officer who quickly apologized to us for what has been happening in the past days. After 2 p.m., the KOJC had announced, or rather at around 12 noon, the KOJC had announced via their news channel SMNI that PNP had plans to bomb the cathedral and that they were given 2 hours to surrender, a claim that the PNP denied vehemently and quickly via a press conference minutes later. Nagpasalamat nga yung KOJC kung hindi nga raw totoo na bobombahin nila itong katedral. At sinabi rin nila sa press conference that they have a recorded conversation between attorney Kay Laurente representing KOJC and a policeman moving to push KOJC to negotiate. Patong-patong na kaso raw ang kanilang isasampa over how the arrest warrant has been carried, and that was in their press conference earlier today. Now, we got to talk to several members of the KOJC. We got to talk to their resident minister, Carlo Catiil, who raised concerns over the excessive use of force by the Philippine National Police. We asked for specific examples of that excessive use of force. So sinasabi nga nila, yung pagbato ng tear gas, at talagang pinaninindigan nila nang nangyari yan nung pinasok yung kanilang compound, sinira raw, may 4 na entrance daw dito sa KOJC ang ginawa, denying or rather not honoring the negotiation that was happening at the entrance gate. So 4 daw yung entrance na yon, nagkaroon ng tear gas, meron daw silang video. We have yet to get a hold of that video. And apart from that, they were complaining about how thousands of policemen are here found carrying arms, carrying weapons, and they feel harassed with that presence. They have also raised a concern over the inability of people to continue on with their daily lives. So ito yung katedral, hindi sila nakapagsamba dito nung linggo. Dito naman, kung makikita mo, ito yung Jose Maria College, at dito nga yung school. Classes have been suspended because of what has been going down, and residents here at the KOJC have been unable to come in. Kahapon lang nakapasok nung nagkaroon na ng temporary protection order. So, yun nga, no? Marami pa tayong conversations with the members of the KOJC, but that is 3 of their main concerns. And questions also remain over how long this will carry out. They remain firm, though, that there are no bunkered tunnels in the area, questioning the accuracy of the life detectors. And they say this is just the PNP desperate to find something after 5 days. And pero kanina, actually nung mga nakalipas na araw, nakausap naman natin yung PNP at pinakitaan naman tayo nung litrato nung mga life detectors kung saan nakita na yung heartbeat. Actually, pinadrawing natin yan, Reg and Sean, meron tayong graphics niyan. Napaka-specific, mga dot Tapos within 5 meters lamang nakita yung mga dots na yun. At sabi rin nila, nagpadala sila ng mas advanced na equipment. It's the same model pero mas latest version ng life detectors para nga mas makita nila at gumagalaw daw yung mga dots na yun. No? So, naiinis itong mga taga Kingdom of Jesus Christ because they're saying if the pastor was really here, they would have already found him after 5 days. So, again, we are at a standstill, but definitely the fact that we are in this compound says a lot about how the situation has already improved.
Okay. Were you able to talk to any members of the KOJC? Gretch, we understand na parang hindi sila ganun ka-game makipag-usap sa media. But today, were they in a better space? How do they feel?
I have good news for you. Hindi na ako sinundan ng mga cellphone. No? Medyo, kasi kahit member tayo ng media, parang pakiramdam natin, nahaharas din tayo. Nag-apologize naman ang Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Their leadership has apologized. Several people have also apologized to me here, saying that emotions are running high. Pagbigyan na daw natin sila kasi nga they feel defensive over what has been happening. Sabi nila, hindi daw sila sanay sa ganitong klaseng police presence. That's why they're saying it is an overkill because they're unable to resume their daily lives. So nakausap din natin ang ilang law students dito na hindi KOJC. They are studying at JMC pero they have had to suspend classes since June 10 where the first raid was carried out. Nag-online lang sila pero ngayon wala silang pasok. And sabi nila, iba naman daw yung hinahanap nilang protection for this place they call home. It doesn't mean that they're also protecting the pastor. So yun ang sinabi nung nakausap natin na estudyante. Nakaikot tayo, marami tayong nakausap, ilalabas po natin yan sa ating documentary. Pero yun, may iintindihan mo rin na pag nagsalita sila, yung kanilang panig, na hindi sila sanay sa ganito. Sigugulat sila at naiinis sila kasi kung may informant daw ang PNP, sana naituro na yung specific location at nakuha na nila, ikot-ikot na dito. Ang pakiramdam nila, and they're contesting that this isn't part of an arrest warrant, and this is actually a search warrant that is required for what has been happening here.
Gretch, did I hear you correctly? You said that there isn't a bunker after all? Or were they...
That was a claim. Claim of them.
They're claiming there isn't a bunker?
KOJC, the resident minister claims there is no bunker. At sabi niya, Gretch, tingnan mo yung paligid mo. Meron bang wires? Pag tumingin ka, walang wires. Totoo naman, walang wires. So sabi nila, nasa ilalim yung mga linya ng kuryente, lahat ng linya nila nandoon. Kaya wala daw tunnel dyan. Yun ang kiniklaim nila. Meron din tayong narinig kanina sa isang conversation na yun nga, itong katedrale, this is an historical place. Kaya kung may naririnig man, di na nila alam kung ano yun. But they cry foul over the idea of having this place they hold sacred bombed just to find the fugitive Pastor Apollo Kibuloy.
Are you able to tell us, Gretch, what's the plan of the cops? We understand na nandyan na sila sa may katedral, nakabantay sila sa katedral. Ano yung plano? Tatry ba nila hanapin yung entrance dito sa so-called bunker? Yung threat of bombing? May ganun bang dahas na tinethreaten talaga? How did the members, get the idea na bobombahin ng mga polis yung katedral nila para makita kung may bunker sa ilalim?
Actually, ang sinabi ng Kingdom of... Actually, Sean, kanina doon sa press conference, sinasabi nga ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ na they have a recorded conversation of Attorney Kay Laurente and a policeman. This policeman was saying, negotiate or else papasabugin namin. Hindi natin alam kung sinasabi ng PNP ay papasabugin nila. Malamang hindi naman yung buo, di ba? But yung to get to the point where they found heartbeats, yun ang nandun daw sa conversation. Sinabi rin nila that they were given 2 hours to surrender, but tomorrow morning, the Philippine National Police will have a press conference possibly to answer all of those questions. because so much pronouncements have been done. KOJC with their press con a while ago. Yun nga, sa ngayon, walang ginagawa. Talagang naka-hold lahat ng nangyayari. Pero may narinig din tayo sa mga kausap natin dito na may hinahanap pa rin na heartbeats dito sa JMC. So,
Okay.
hindi ko alam kung talagang sigurado na sila dito kasi sinasabi nga nila gumagalaw yung mga dots na yon. Siyempre, nagdala rin sila ng mga mas marami pang equipment. So, parang hinahanap talaga nila yung heartbeats na yon. Ang sinasabi nila, hinahanap nila yung entrance.
Okay.
At ang sinabi rin ng police is, ituro nyo na lang yung entrance kesa pa bombahin natin yan.
Okay, maraming salamat sa mga updates. Gretchen Ho reporting to us live from inside the KOJC compound in Davao City.
Also joining us now to talk about the ongoing manhunt for Kibuloy, we have with us Interior Secretary Benher Abalos over the phone. Secretary Abalos, thanks for taking time to talk to us. I understand it's been a very busy day.
Yes, Regina and Sean and Gretchen. Yeah, good evening to everyone.
Secretary Abalos, I guess you heard the report from Gretchen, who's live for us there in Davao right now, and she said that the cathedral has been cordoned off. The police believe that's where Kibuloy is holed up in, that there is an underground bunker there where he is hiding at the moment. The cathedral is, of course, a very sacred place for the Kingdom of Jesus Christ members. So I guess two questions for you. First is, what is the plan there? And secondly, are you confident or can you guarantee that any operations being carried out there is still with due respect to human rights and the legal process?
Well, first of all, all of this led us because of intelligence report. That is why, as you will see, it's now already on our third day right now here, because all of this intelligence report precisely point to these areas where Pastor Kibuloy is. So, and that area is about 30 hectares. It's huge, with a lot of structures all over, a lot of hidden passageway. As you could see, the bunkers there. So we're trying our best to really find Pastor Kibuloy. Now, with reference to human rights and the legal process, we are following everything. If you will recall, there was this temporary protective order that was issued, which we are contesting, by the way. We are contesting, and I can discuss this later. But the judge clarified himself that the arrest against Kibuloy, it does not preclude us from implementing the warrant of arrest. The warrant of arrest operation continues against Pastor Kibuloy.
Okay, how sure are we, DLG Secretary, na andun po talaga si Pastor Kibuloy? And in fact, na meron nga pong mga bunker. And based on Gretchen's report, ang sabi daw po ng PNP is the dots are moving. That implies there's a series or an underground kind of like
tunnels,
small city there, di ba, sa ilalim. So, how sure are we and what is the plan po to try to penetrate? Kasi may kumakalat po na among the members na papabombahin daw yung entrance para mabuksan. Kung hindi nila i-give up, then there's that recording supposedly that exists with the lawyer of KOJC and one member of the police. What can you say about that, Sec?
Well, number one, as you could see, marami po mga bunker talaga na nakikita natin dito. Na talagang meron kami mga machines to detect kung nasaan talaga siya. Actually, hindi siya, pero yung mga taong nasa baba. Kaya nga, lahat ng klaseng paraan ay ginagawa namin. Just bear with us here. Pinapacheck nga namin yan sa office ng engineering kung itong mga bunker na ito ba'y kasama sa building permit o talagang hidden lahat o talagang tinago ito. These are the kind of things, these are the challenges. Ito yung mga hamon na hinaharap ng ating kapulisyan. Mahirap talaga ito kung tutuusin mo, Sean and Regina. Pero kinakailangan gawin ito para lang madakip si Pastor Kibuloy.
Sec, can I clarify lang? Meron na po kayong nakitang mga bunker, perhaps not the correct bunker, obviously, pero may nakita na po kayo sa loob ng compound. We understand malaki po ang 30 hectares, pero meron na ba kayong nakitang evidence na may bunkers nga sa loob po ng compound?
Well, actually, merong evidence about this. Meron, we could show you. Pero alam mo, hindi mo alam kung paano kalalawak ito at paano kalaki ito at saan pupunta ito. So, importante lang talaga ito ay talaga ma-pinpoint, mahanap ka agad siya.
Can you describe for us, Sec, kung ano po yung nakita ninyo based on your evidence?
pasensya na ha, we cannot disclose it, baka ma-compromise ang aming operations. No? Kaya ko lang naman sinasabi ito para maunawaan ng ating publiko na talagang yung hamon, yung challenges of finding Pastor Tibuloy, na you're looking at 30 hectares, malamang baka dikit-dikit pa ito, no? O kung saan pa ito, hindi lang dyan sa lugar na yan, baka sa ibang lugar pa, may mga ganyan ding mga passageway, no? Na gano'n ang hamon talaga sa kapulisyahan sa ngayon. No? Just bear with us. Kasi maraming tatanong, paano kadagal ito? Ano na ba nangyayari? No? Ito yung sinasabi lang namin para maunawaan nila ang kalagayan ng mga pulis. Mga walang tulog yan, ha? Shifting na po yan.
Are you able to corroborate PNP intelligence sec that the cathedral is the most likely hiding place?
Well, there are a lot of hiding places possible. No? Maraming posibleng hiding places ito. Pero ang ginagawa namin, what we're trying to do right now is lahat ng possible na nandun siya ay talagang yun ang pinofocus namin.
Kasi namin po, syempre, as regular people, as lay people, place of worship po kasi yung cathedral. Meron din pong TPO or protection order. You mentioned, you can explain more about that you're contesting it. But for now, before that contesting has happened, is that still in place? And ano po yung talagang bounds nito? Because I can, as a normal person, I imagine po na makakover po yung simbahan po nila nitong TPO.
Yes, sana maunawaan nila, no, na number one, talagang hinahanap namin lahat. No? The mere fact na itong ay mga nasa ilalim, bunkers na hidden, kailangan we just want to make sure na talagang wala si Pastor doon. Sana maunawaan. Nangyari lamang ito, coincidental lamang na ito nga ay nasa cathedral. Sana, pasensya na, but we really have to search for him. Every nook and cranny, kailangan hanapin po namin siya. Sana maunawaan naman natin yan ng ating mga kababayan. Pangalawa, we are yung sinasabing temporary protection order. Okay, let me clarify this. No? Before May 28, bago pa lang nito, ay nag-file ng kaso against Pastor Tibuloy, Secretary of Justice Remulla. At sinabi niya, change of venue. Ibig sabihin ito, ililipat ng hearing from Davao sa iba. At ito'y pinabigyan ng Supreme Court. Kasi ang sabi ng Supreme Court, and to quote, the court found compelling reasons to justify the transfer of venue as the cases involve public interest with the accused, a well-known religious leader, being influential in the area. As this could cause local biases and a strong possibility that witnesses cannot really testify due to fear and influence. So because of this, ito sabi ng Supreme Court, nasa website nila ito, this is May 28. The court directed the judges in Davao City and in other stations in Mindanao where future, the word is future-related cases involving Pastor Tibuloy and his co-accused may be filed to motu proprio order the transmittal of the records to the Office of the Clerk of Court of Quezon City and Metropolitan Trial Court, Quezon City. So, ang sinasabi rito is that lahat ng kaso kay Pastor Tibuloy and future cases sa buong Mindanao, automatic dapat sa Quezon City. Hindi dito. No? Hello?
Yeah, and so
So we are contesting the order of the judge on this ground. No? Kasi number one, dapat may judicial notice siya. Kasi dapat alam niya ito na wala na siyang jurisdiction dito. No, at pangalawa, this is the violation of our due process.
And
Kaya
so-
minanifest namin ito to the OSG sa court. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, Sec. Loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
so,
secondly,
were
we're
you...
going to file, the OSG will file a certiorari with the Court of Appeals
Right.
to question this because it appears na talagang ultra virus ito.
Right.
Ibig sabihin, walang effect itong order na ito.
So you haven't filed the petition yet to challenge the TPO, is that correct?
We have already filed the manifestation this afternoon, the OSG, Office of the Solicitor General, and tomorrow, the certiorari questioning this order of the court before the Court of Appeals will be filed.
Okay. DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla has already said they want to see this through, and so have you. In ambush interviews, you've said that you are going to see this operation through. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean you will not stop unless you capture Apollo Kibuloy?
Yes, precisely. Because what is important here is, what is being challenged is already the judicial process. And judicial process really should prevail over here. No, justice should prevail. The rule of law should prevail. That is important to show people at this point in time.
Last question, Sec, from me. We did report also that additional manpower has been sent into Davao from 3 neighboring regions, from the Caraga, from northern Mindanao, as well as from Sargen. How many additional police officers po yun? And hindi po ba parang, kasi when you look at the numbers, it's an overwhelming amount po of police officers. So, understandably, the public is also wanting to find out parang kailan po ba ito matatapos. Kasi ang naririnig po namin ay, this will end pag nahanap na po si Pastor. So, this can go on indefinitely. What's the plan here, Sec?
Well, number one, sana maunawaan ng ating kababayan, most of them are deployed outside, no? Of course, inaano nila mga barricades, etc. Tapos yung iba naghahanap sa 30 hectares ganong kalaki. At pinaka-importante, pagod na ang ating mga pulis. No? Talagang yung iba dyan, nasugatan pa, nasaktan pa, as you could see, yung maximum tolerance. Hindi biro ang pagod na hinaharap nila. That's why yung iba nagpapahinga lang because we really need shifting. No? Dito na-realize na kaya nagpapatawag ng tao para matapos na, ma-pinpoint na kaagad kung nasaan. At kung talagang hindi makita, umalis na lang. Ganun lang po kasimple yun. But what is important right now, we're working with intelligence report. We have machines, we have dogs, para hanapin po talaga ito. At the sooner it is, the better for everyone.
Just quick clarification, Sec, on the number of total PNP forces, kahit estimate po na nasa Davao City ngayon for this mission.
I'm sorry, I cannot give you the estimate right now. No, mahirap mag-approximate about this. Yes.
Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte has criticized the operation, saying the PNP has gone beyond the bounds of the law, has used excessive force, and that you are also inconveniencing the motorists and the businesses and the public around there. Your reaction to that, please, and also, have you had a chance to speak or work with Mayor Baste?
Well, number one, the point of the issue is simple. There is a sexual a person is alleged to have committed sexual crimes against minor, human trafficking, not only here but also in the United States, And we have a valid warrant of arrest. It's people of the Philippines, by the way. Ang kalaban niya ang mamamayan ng Pilipinas. At binabastos niya ang democratic process. Ayaw niyang humarap. In fact, he still challenges this process itself. That is why we're trying our best to arrest him. Sana maunawaan ng lahat kung papadala namin dyan, iilan, 50, 100, mas lalong hindi lang mahihirapan. That would be next to impossible na hanapin. Lalo tayo makakagulo. Remember that Pastor Kibuloy is a person who's very influential. Marami siyang mga followers na nandun. So, siguro, just to keep also peace, what is important is pagpadala kami ng tao who will exercise maximum tolerance, pero to show that there is really, marami rin naman sila na hindi magkagulo. Yun lang naman tayo. But what is more important are people who would have search each and every structure in that area.
So I take it to mean that you have not had a chance to speak with Mayor Baste Duterte?
Hindi pa po.
Is there a plan to, Secretary?
Well, let us see, Let us see. Siguro, okay, I'll keep you informed about it.
Okay. We will check back in with you. We thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been a very hectic day, I understand. That was Interior Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos. We're going to pause for a quick one right now, but right after that, we have the latest on Woman of the Hour, Cassandra Ong. session of the House Quad Committee, which is still ongoing as we speak. Now it's former PNP chief turned Senator Bato Dela Rosa who has been directly linked to the killing of drug suspects. Marian Enriquez tells us more.
Members have read.
Former Albuera Leyte Police Chief Lieutenant Colonel Jovi Espinido claims getting marching orders from then PNP Chief Bato Dela Rosa to, quote, neutralize personalities involved in the illegal drug trade. That included Albuera Leyte Mayor Rolando Espinosa, who was murdered while in prison back in November of 2016. According to Espinido, it was Dela Rosa who appointed him as a local police chief.
Ang instruksyon lang na tulungan mo ako, Juby, at saka si President Duterte about this war against illegal drugs. So dapat, galingan mo ha, dapat mawala na yung mga drugs sa Albuera. Pag sabi na mawala, kasali na yung mamatay. That is very obvious for us, an officer,
so pag
Your Honor.
Sinabi po sa inyo na mawala, ibig sabihin, mamatay, tao po.
So, by all means, Your Honor.
By all means?
Yes.
Okay.
But by the time they're done with Espinosa and his group, it came as a surprise to Espinido when he was suspended for 1 month and was accused of receiving money from illegal drug operations. He was even included in a drug list. By August 2016, Espinido was back in service as police chief of Ozamis City in Misamis Occidental. In 2017, former President Rodrigo Duterte's drug list included Ozamis City Mayor Reynaldo Parohinog. By July of that same year, Parohinog and 14 others were killed in a police raid headed by Espinido. Coincidence, or did law enforcement act as a vigilante group?
I don't want to make any statement that the PNP itself is organized crime groups, but ang Chief PNP, siya kasi, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, it's very obvious na siya lahat, galing sa kanya lahat ang instruction.
Yun ang statement mo eh. Di ba? From my experience, I can say that the PNP is the biggest crime group in this country. Who is the leader of the PNP, which you consider as the crime group? Hindi ba yung Chief PNP?
Yes,
and therefore, he's the Lord.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Tama?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Would that be a correct conclusion of mine?
I am with you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Aside from PNP Chief Bato, may ibang tao po ba na nag-order sa inyo na i-dismantle yung drug group in Ozamis City? Meron po bang local officials or other personalities involved? Or was it only Chief PNP Bato and the former president?
It was only Chief PNP Bato Dela Rosa, Your Honor.
After Espinosa and Parohinog, Clarin Misamis Occidental Mayor David Navarro was also killed in 2019, but Espinido denied having anything to do with that murder.
Nung nangyayari, Your Honor, na si Mayor Navarro is included in watch list, sa drug watch list ni PRRD. Tumawag sa akin personally si Chief PNP Bato Dela Rosa at saka si Senator Bongo mismo na nag-declared kay Mayor Navarro. Ang sabi nila, wag mo nang galawin si Mayor Navarro kasi declared yan. Wala na yun.
On the supposed quota and reward system during the Duterte drug war, Espinido answered in the affirmative. He even claimed that the money for this came from small-town lottery and offshore gaming operations.
Alam ng mga pulis lahat yun, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na patayin, may reward. Kung mamatay yung nasa watch list, may reward system yun ang ibigay. Your Honor, Mr. Chair, maski may kasalanan yun o wala, may ginawa na totoong nabaybas o wala, yun ang pag-intindi ko sa dalawang klase ng reward at saka quota.
Espinido said he knows much more than what he told the Quad Committee today and requested an executive session. That closed-door hearing will be scheduled some other time. As for Senator Dela Rosa, he confirmed that he ordered Espinido to neutralize personalities involved in illegal drugs, but he did not mean kill.
Kaya nasa Indian, trabaho yung droga. Wala ko sinabi. Design kita dyan para patayin mo lahat na wala adik dyan. Lahat ng mga poser dyan. Patayin mo. Wala kong sinabi dito. Di ba? So yun lang. Trabaho mo yan as chief of police. Inisin mo yung kapaligiran mo. Magtrabaho ka para mawala ang dito sa tulong.
For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
And after a long wait, Cassandra Ong finally faced lawmakers at the lower house this evening. She was brought out of detention just after 6 p.m. and began to be questioned by the House committee at 6:15. But just 39 minutes into the questioning, the authorized representative of Lucky South 99 got cited in contempt again for the second time. That's for refusing to answer questions from Quad Committee members, even if simple ones like where she went to school. Representative Dan Fernandez even tried to appeal to her emotionally by showing photos of the torture victims of the Pogo hubs. But Ong wouldn't budge.
Ano bang krimen ang iniisip mo na baka ikaw ay madamay?
I refuse to testify. I refuse to answer po para sa own reason ko po.
Ooh, we missed the bit where she was asked about where she went to school, but even that, she said, I refused to answer po. That was
early.
That was a couple of hours ago. The hearing is ongoing right now, which is why we couldn't fully flesh out the story. But when we were checking just during the break, she was a lot more loose-lipped. So she was more open. She's actually answering questions.
Yeah, so at around, that's because at around maybe 7:30 p.m., from 7 to 8 p.m., lawmakers were trying to really convince her to avail, quote-unquote, of an executive session because they were saying, look, we can help you. That's what Representative Dan Fernandez was saying.
They used both a carrot and a stick. So
They
the
did.
stick was the threat to put her in the women's correctional facility in Mandaluyong. And the carrot was that they could offer immunity if she comes clean about everything she knows, because I think the lawmakers believe at this point that she is just the tip of the iceberg.
And that's exactly what Representative Luistro said. You're just the tip of the berg. That's what she's, tip of the berg. The iceberg. Berg lang
Berg
daw.
lang. So
Shortcut,
she's the tip of the berg, that's right. And
she also explained to Cassandra na, you know, everyone here, all the resource people are pointing to you. So if you don't tell us, then you will be, you know, the most guilty here.
And at this point in time, Cassandra Ong has already admitted her links to Lucky South 99 and Whirlwind, admitting that she is the incorporator. So we'll see how much longer this hearing goes on and recap that tomorrow. Moving on now, still on the story, after Sheila Guo revealed in detail how she and her siblings managed to leave the country, questions are now being raised as to whether Guo should be allowed to turn state witness. Mayan Los Baños tells us more in this story.
After facing the Senate and coming clean about how she and her siblings fled the Philippines, can Sheila Guo now become state witness? The Justice Department said it's possible.
Ako, ayoko naman pangunahan, pero qualified siya eh. Kasi kung tutusin mo, hindi naman siya yung pinaka may pakanan itong mga illegal na bagay. Kung maniniwala tayo kahapon sa mga asta niya, parang nadamay lang siya or napahamak lang siya ng mga kasamahan niya.
However, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla himself doesn't think Sheila Guo's testimony holds water.
Hindi ako naniniwala kay Sheila Guo. Hindi ako naniniwala sa kanya mga sinasabi. Puro I don't know, tas puro malalabo ang sagot. Hindi reliable eh. Yung reliability ng kanya mga sinasabi yung problema natin eh. Hindi siya reliable witness so far. Kailangan talaga patunayan na kailangan yung kanyang testimonya upang mangyari ang lahat.
She earlier revealed that she and her siblings took 3 boats to Malaysia, which Remulla said sounds impossible.
Unang-una, hindi ako naniniwala si Alice Guo sasakay na fishing boat ng 3 araw para makarating sa Sabah. Marahil mahirap paniwalaan. Sobrang namang galing nila na sumakay sila para sine, na fishing boat pa. Yun nga, hindi na natanong yung mga detalye noon. Saan ka matutulog sa fishing boat? 3 araw kang sasakay doon. Napakasungit pa ng dagat. Kaya ba nila yun? Di ba? Sobrang hirap naman yun.
In any case, USEC-T says it's not something being considered for now.
Huwag muna natin masyado patulan ang posibilidad na to. Ano pa lang to, forward thinking to. Madami pa talagang kailangan mangyari bago maging state witness to. Kung mangyari man yun.
For now, Sheila Guo and Lucky South 99 Representative Cassandra Ong are facing charges for disobedience to legislative summons after they failed to show up for previous Senate hearings. Sheila has also been charged with violating the Philippine Passport Act for allegedly using a fake Philippine passport. Ong, meanwhile, has been charged with obstruction of justice for harboring, concealing, and facilitating the escape of a criminal offender. The Senate, on the other hand, will continue to press Alice Guo's sister for more information. Senator Risa Hontiveros said there are details that Sheila Guo mentioned that checks out with information previously gathered. However, she adds, Sheila may still be hiding something. Meanwhile, the DOJ is looking to wrap up their investigation on whether government officials had any hand in facilitating Alice Guo's escape. They're hoping to fast-track the release of the investigation results with the help of the NBI and the Bureau of Immigration. President Marcos has said he now has a very good idea on who aided the Guos. For News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Still on the lower house, after yesterday's heated budget deliberations, the Office of the Vice President insists that the House hearing is not the proper venue to answer questions about Commission on Audit or COA findings on its 2022 confidential funds. At the hearing, Vice President Duterte dodged questions about COA's notice of disallowance on 73 million pesos worth of confidential funds in 2022. Speaking to Radyo 5's Ted Filon and DJ Chacha, OVP spokesperson Attorney Michael Poa said they are in the process of addressing this audit with COA itself and will appeal the decision.
We didn't want to answer questions on the confidential funds, no? Kasi talaga namang the Office of the Vice President has been cooperating with the ongoing audit. And secondly, hindi pa talaga final yung audit. And so, to be honest, it's a bit irregular, no, that we are talking about a COA finding na hindi pa po final.
Attorney Poa said they will also reach out to the office of Lanao Congressman Zia Adiong, who is the designated sponsor of the OVP's proposed 2025 budget. When asked if Vice President Sara will still attend the next budget or the next OVP budget deliberations, Poa had this to say.
She's deferring to the wisdom on the Congress, so bahala sila kung ano yung i-approve or hindi, no? But yung sa hindi pagsipot, Sir Ted, yan po ay hindi ko mako-confirm dahil hindi pa po namin napag-usapan. At historically, at least from the time na umupong Vice Presidente ang ating Vice President Sara Duterte, she has always attended all budget hearings for DepEd and OVP, no? Precisely because she wants to be there as
Attorney Poa was also asked where Vice President Sara got the idea that House lawmakers were conspiring against her and using a script. This is what the OVP spokesman had to say.
Nabanggit naman niya na may mga kakilala pa rin naman siya, kaibigan sa House of Representatives. Although siyempre, no, bilang isang kaibigan, she does not want to breach yung trust, no, na between her and her friends. But yung pangalawa, I think nakikita naman kahapon, no, dun sa pananaw ng ating Vice Presidente na planado, because definitely may ready PowerPoint presentations, no, may mga nakahanda na, but yun ang pananaw ng ating Vice President, no, and taong bayan na lang siguro po ang humusga kung saan ang pinanggagalingan niya at kung nakikita nila or if they share yung ganyang pananaw.
Over in diplomatic affairs, the U.S. military is open to escorting Philippine ships out in the West Philippine Sea for future resupply missions. That's according to the head of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel Paparo.
Certainly within the context of consultations, every option between the two sovereign nations in terms of our mutual defense, escort of one vessel to the other is an entirely reasonable option within our mutual defense treaty among this close alliance between the two of us.
Admiral Paparo, who took over just in May this year, is in Manila for 3 days for his first official visit as commander. He kicked off his visit yesterday with a courtesy call of President Marcos at Malacanang then attended an international military conference organized by the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. Paparo visited several Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA sites today, which Marcos said would expose the U.S. delegation to the real situation. He will also attend the annual meeting of the Mutual Defense Board and Security Engagement Board in Baguio City and participate in planning activities for 2020.
We're going to be pausing for a quick break, but right after that, 2 more cases of Mpox have been detected, bringing active cases in the Philippines to 5. That and more when we return. Keep it here.
Welcome back. You are still watching the big story here on One News. The country's active Mpox cases are now up to 5 after 2 more individuals contracted the virus. According to the health department, the new cases include a 26-year-old female from Metro Manila and a 12-year-old male from Calabarzon. Both did not travel locally or abroad at the time they caught the less severe Clade 2 variant. 2 of the 5 Mpox patients are now in the hospital and are said to be recuperating well, while the rest are recovering at home. The DOH says that while there is already local transmission of Mpox, this is no cause for panic.
Mpox Clade 2, alam natin na isang milder variant at ang kanyang paghawa ay skin-to-skin close intimate physical contact. Simple lang po ang ating gawin para wag tayong maalarma. Umiwas ho tayo sa dikit na ang balat mga namamasahe. Siguro mag-jacket muna tayo, no? Bigyan niya ng jacket at magsuot ng long sleeves para wag tayo magdikit-dikit sa loob ng mga tren o kaya ng mga ating jeep.
All right, speaking of jackets, torrential rains continue to batter the metro due to the southwest monsoon or habagat, causing flooding in a lot of areas. This was the case over in Taft Avenue as motorists had to wade through the floods or floodwaters earlier this morning. In Quezon City, vehicles could not pass through parts of NS Amoranto due to chest-deep floods. Residents say they were surprised by the rapid rise in water level. Meanwhile, the floods over in Barangay Del Monte reached up to knee-deep. Residents heading to work had no choice but to be carried by relatives to avoid getting wet. Others simply skipped work to clean up due to the thick mud. Around 2,000 families have been affected by the floods in the barangay. And because of the rains, the La Mesa Dam in Quezon City also overflowed as its water level hit 18.16 meters at 5 a.m. The dam's spilling level is at 80.15 meters. Pag-asa said that the water from the La Mesa Dam is expected to affect low-lying areas along the Tuliahan River from Quezon City, Valenzuela City, and Malabon. The Weather Bureau advised residents of those areas to monitor the Tuliahan River's water level and watch out for possible flooding. According to Pag-asa, the southwest monsoon will continue to bring rains to Luzon and the Visayas. However, there is no low-pressure area that has been seen around the country. Monsoon rains are likely until tomorrow, affecting Metro Manila, Mimaropa, Zambales, Bataan, Cavite, Laguna, and Batangas. Cloudy skies with scattered rains or thunderstorms can also be expected in the Visayas, in the Bicol region, the rest of Central Luzon, the rest of Calabarzon, and Pangasinan. Meanwhile, the rest of the country will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rains or thunderstorms. So basically, it's going to be rainy again tomorrow. Okay, before we go, time for our big picture tonight. A big congratulations to the entire One News and 1PH team. Signal TV, One News, and 1PH was recognized as TV Station of the Year because it's combined into one award at the 12th Makatao Awards for Media Excellence. The People Management Association of the Philippines' Makatao Awards honor outstanding media bodies and personalities for their contributions in promoting public awareness of effective people management in both the private and public sector. Regina was there to accept the plaque of recognition along with Ms. Risa Gilas, Joey Francisco, Cheryl Cosim, Diego Castro, and Angela Lagunzad. Risa Gilas, the head of Signal TV's Channels Management and Programming, expressed gratitude for the recognition of the potential of each Signal TV platform. She also thanked those behind One News and 1PH for their tireless delivery of reliable, truthful, and impactful news and public affairs programs.
Napakalaking honor talaga na i-receive yung TV Station of the Year Award on behalf of Signal TV. We were talking about it earlier that to be valued for the potential of our platforms and to be recognized for the achievements of our teams in One News and 1PH is very, very gratifying. So, a huge congratulations and maraming salamat sa mga tao behind One News and 1PH who have been working tirelessly to provide our viewers with reliable, truthful, and impactful news and public affairs programs.
You were there.
I was
read the
there,
report,
which is very exciting. And of course, as Risa said, it's a huge honor.
It is.
Because it's TV station. It's one of the big awards, and that's why we were called last, because it's whole TV station. There were other awards as well for news and current affairs presenters. For current affairs, it was Miss Lucci from TV5 who won the best best current affairs host. We've also have our colleagues from GMA also won, and so did our colleagues from Inquirer and Rappler. But the TV Station of the Year award is a huge honor because it's one of the major ones. It's a major one. It's honoring the whole TV station and honoring the work of not just one person but also the whole army of people who
that
work
you don't
hard
see, but there's a lot of them
who work hard day in and day out to help us deliver the news.
All right, I guess congratulations to us.
Congratulations all around, exactly.
All right. But that's it for the show tonight. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.